Hi, everybody. We are live. Right. Okay. I've just run a test of this, and hopefully it's going to work properly. Um, but this video is a content creation tips guide of some description, so that it's going to help you come up with ways to promote your music, your band, whatever it is, really. But mostly this is going to be based around music. So let me just share this out. Just bear with me 1 second. Just give me 2 ticks. Just going to share this to a few people that I know in particular wanted to actually see this. So I'm just going to pop this out. Hopefully they'll join us. If you are watching live and you've got a question, drop it in. I'll try and answer it at the end, but this is going to be quite a quick video. So what we're going to look at, let me just go to these slides I've done inside Canva. 10 content creation ideas. We should actually, right from the off, mention that we should probably change the wording to document as opposed to create, because I think documenting is far better than trying to create things, and I'll explain a bit more in a second. I'm just going to try and share my screen. There you go. This is what we're going to share. So there we go. So hopefully now you can see what I'm seeing, which is the content, 10 content creation ideas. Again, like I said, that should be really document. Anyway, so about 4 weeks ago, we started taking our YouTube channel a bit more seriously, and we've noticed that the numbers have started rapidly growing, or say rapidly, but they're starting to grow, definitely going in the right direction. Gone from 50 views on a video to 6, 7, 8,000 views on a video. Our Spotify streams are doing we've done 11,000 new streams in the last month. And it's all because we've started implementing these little ideas that long term are going to really help. So let me see. I wonder if I can move this. Can I move this over here? Will it let me do it? Yeah, it does. So your 10 ideas. Simple. Number 1, music videos. It seems obvious, but if you're putting out a lot of music, which you should be doing anyway now, and I'll explain more about that as to why a little bit later in the video, you want to be putting out a lot of music videos, but not necessarily the way you think. So a music video doesn't have to be high production. What we found actually is I've spent a lot of money in the past on high production videos, and they've performed no better than DIY music videos that we've made ourselves. Absolutely, they've just not been any better. So from that point of view, they don't always have to be high production. Also, now in the new social media sphere that we are now in, you can now make shorter videos that you can make in the form of reels, so you can get just one of the band members or someone to help you film if you're a solo artist. And what you can do is basically just get someone to film you miming along to the track in somewhere scenic or somewhere that looks quite nice, or a good spot to shoot some video. Get them to mime to the video, play along to it with a guitar, drum kit, whatever it might be. Those can be classed as music videos nowadays, especially on TikTok and Instagram Reels and YouTube Shorts and things like that. Definitely worth doing that and putting out more of them. Now, for some reason, my slide number 2 has disappeared, but I'll explain what that one is a little bit later in the video. Live performances, right? Seems like a pretty straightforward thing to do. You're going to be doing live performances if you're a musician or a band. So share live recordings of your content. Give the fans a taste of the energy that you're going to bring at your live shows, to give them the impetus to actually want to buy a ticket. Because I see a lot of people moaning about people not coming to see them live, but they don't really ever give them a reason to want to come and see them live. It's all right showing them a recording, but what do you sound like when the auto tune's not turned on, or your vocals haven't been mixed perfectly? Then what's your performance like, etc. So also, if you go live on social media platforms as well and do short performances to your followers, They really like that as well, and they feel like they're part of something. You could even do them as little private, in private groups or wherever it might be. But live performances go a long way, because they're less edited, and I'm actually finding now that almost the more raw the video, the better it's doing, and I've got some evidence to prove that in a second for you. So interviews, interviewing the band members. This is not something you're going to be able to like do over and over and over again, but certainly conduct interviews or get someone to interview you if you're a solo artist, where you can basically dive in, and get a little bit of a deeper insight into the story behind the music, the personalities behind the band, and just really let people know who you are. And then you can chop those up into little shorts as well if there's some little excerpts that you want to add, which could be quite useful. But yeah, they're a great way to generate more interest in the band. Next one, I've got release more music, but before that, I'm going to go back to the missing slide. So the missing slide was actually vlogs, vlogging the journey, vlogging everything that you do, basically. Film all of that stuff, let people know. I'm not just talking about behind the scenes. I'm literally talking about, like, if you want to go this far down the rabbit hole, actually filming like your daily life, like actually show people some parts of your personal life, not like in massive detail, but if you're going somewhere nice for the day and you're out in the hills somewhere, shoot a little bit of video, share that on your fan page, not just necessarily your personal page. Give them little nuggets of who you are as a personality. That's why artists like Lewis Capaldi do so well, because people like him for his personality as much as they do his music. Release more music. The way social media has gone and the way Spotify goes and the way YouTube goes, they reward you for uploads. So the more music you can upload on a regular basis, the better. So if you're writing a song a month, releasing a song a month, you're going to probably do a lot better than someone who's releasing a song every 12 weeks, unless that person has a huge budget to promote those songs. So if you've got no budget at all, I would suggest trying to write and put out as much stuff as you possibly can. That's what we did last year with Spotify and stuff, and it's worked pretty well for us. The thing is with singles as well, if you're a new artist and the first thing you do is release an album, I don't get why you would do that, because you're not going out doing lots of shows, so you haven't really got much in the way of merch to sell, and you're putting all your work out there at once. Whereas if you do a single release, you've got something to promote for 3 or 4 weeks, and then you've got the behind the scenes, then the music video shoot, and then the content that goes around that. You can do a little video about what the song was about, and then for the next 4 weeks you're then promoting the next one that's coming out, and then the next one, and then the next one. So then you don't have to keep coming up with new content ideas. You just follow a cycle of content as opposed to trying to keep thinking of creative things to do. Collaborations, again, seems like a really obvious one, but not something anyone really does anywhere near enough of. It's not something that we've really done much of, but it's certainly something we've been talking to a lot of people about recently, and we're going to be doing some of. There are a few bands and a few artists immediately that ring to mind that we want to do collaborations with, and we have approached them now, and we are going to be doing it. The reason you want to do these is, don't keep looking at it as everyone as competition. Start thinking of people as ways that you can help each other out. I've got a different audience to you, maybe slightly different, maybe we're similar, but my audience won't know who you are, and your audience won't know who I am. So therefore, we can share some of our audience with each other, and then that way, they can work well for everybody involved. And then also as well, don't always work with people in the same genre as you. It could help to sometimes step out of your comfort zone, and do something a little bit different. Cover songs. This seems like a really obvious one, but again, something every now and then just to throw in to help bring some attraction to your channel. One of our most streamed songs on Spotify is a cover. But as soon as we released that cover, what we noticed was the streams for the cover started going up. And therefore, people were listening to it, and then they were jumping over and going, "Oh, these guys release other songs," and then they were jumping onto our original material, and then they started listening to that as well. See, the problem is no one knows who you are, so they're not going to search for you on Spotify or YouTube. However, they will know that song of that cover that you've just done in your own style. And then when they listen to it, they'll go, I like this. Let's go and check the rest of their stuff out. So cover songs, again, seems like an obvious one, but something you can definitely throw in. That one's a bit hard for rappers, probably. Fan Q&A sessions. I'm doing a live stream right now. This could quite easily be a Q&A session where you ask me questions and I answer them. If you're in a band, that is a great way of doing it. You could certainly do that, no trouble whatsoever. And that is something that you could do on a regular basis. Get people to jump on, maybe Sunday session, ask us a few questions, and we're going to give you some answers. And if you do that on a fairly regular basis on the same day, each week or each fortnight, or however often you choose to do it, eventually your viewers will know. It'll be like, it's Tuesday, it's 6 p.m. I know what's happening now. They're going to be doing a Q&A, so I'm going to go and jump on it so I can ask my questions, etc. And there's ways of making money from that a little bit further down the line as well, which we'll talk about in another video. That kind of leads on to this one as well. Weekly updates, simple, quick video. Could be just something you film on your phone, you do a story, or you do a reel, or you do a YouTube short or something, and it's just a quick update to say, guys, thanks for the following us this week. This is what we've got happening next week. We're going to be doing, and just let people in on the process and what's going on, and what it is that you're doing. Try and pick a day and stick to it as well. Like I said, after a while, your followers will start to know this day, and they'll come back and keep checking for the latest updates. Maybe it's just ticket announcements, shows. You're going to shoot a music video, so there's going to be more content to come to look out for. So you're giving them a reason to constantly keep coming back to the party. Damien Keys, who's a great YouTuber, talks about music marketing, says that you want to treat your social media as a party, and you want people to come into the party, and you want them to stay at the party. You don't want them going off everywhere else. So that's a good way of doing it and getting people to keep coming back to your party. And most importantly, be yourself. Remember that the key of this is to be authentic and connect with your fans on a personal level. If you do that, your subscriber count will go up exponentially, or your customer account will grow. So when I do this for commercial clients, which is because that's my background, that's what I do for work, the better job you do of selling something, the more sales you're going to make. And it's really bloody obvious, but it's true. Like if people really buy into you as an individual, like they do, Lewis Capaldi is a great example. They'll probably more likely to buy into your music. And even if they don't like your music, maybe they just like you as a personality. Still, you got a follower that might buy your merch, etc. So, there's lots of different ways. You've only got to look at people like KSI and how they have diversified across multiple business lines, and they're in the music, they're in the boxing, they do all sorts of stuff. But it's centric around one particular thing that he likes doing, and that's creating content. That's what he is. So they're 10 little tips that you can use for creating more content. Dead easy, them are. These are like really obvious ones. I'm going to give you some in-depth videos on how to actually make some of this stuff as well, and use different softwares to help make all of this a lot easier for you. But yeah, think of those. Try and pick 2 or 3. Don't try and do all of them because it's just too much. Initially, just try and come up with a few. And if there's 5 of you in the band, one thing I did want to show you just very quickly before we wrap this video up, because I want to keep it under 15 minutes, is something like Canva, where you can create a lot of your content. Also comes with a schedule. So you can actually schedule your Instagram and social media accounts. You can actually lock them in, and like put, there you go. That's the post I want to put out today. Select the channel that I want it to go to. I want it to go to my Twitter. I want it to go to my Instagram, right, and my LinkedIn or whatever it is. And then that's it for the week. I can schedule, or I can make 10 posts for the week, schedule them all, and then I ain't got to look at my posts again for the rest of the week. And that's a great way of being able to do it. I don't use the Canva planner. I use my Google. But once you've done your plan for a few weeks, it should become second nature and you should know. Anyway, if this video has been helpful, subscribe to the channel, give it a like. Any questions on creating content, maybe even the technical side of actually creating the content itself, give me a shout in the comment section. More than happy to try and answer some of those questions in a future video. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll be back with more very soon.